Hello and welcome to today's video. Today is officially June 11th, meaning tomorrow is my birthday. So today we are gonna make some cake. So I found this recipe online. I'm just gonna copy it. So it is a vanilla cake, and then I think I'm gonna make frosting to go with the vanilla frosting, and then I'm gonna use one of the store-bought frostings to make little flowers on the cake. But that's just my thought process right now. So let's get into it and see how it turns out. So the first step is to it says to beat the eggs and the sugar together. So this cake recipe calls for 4 eggs and and 1.5 cups of sugar. So it says to let it beat for around 7 minutes. So I'm gonna crack the eggs quickly and then put the sugar in there, and I'll see you guys in 7 minutes. Okay, we've officially finished the 7 minutes of mixing, and this is how it's looking. It's looking just like she says in the picture, so I think we're off to a good start. So the next step is to gradually add the flour, the baking powder, and the salt. So I am gonna I have this bowl right here. I'm just gonna pour them into this bowl and then slowly add them to the egg mixture. Get 2 cups of flour. I took a cooking class in school, and I got taught that you are only supposed to scoop it with a spoon into the measuring cup, so I've been doing that ever since. It's supposed to make the flour more floury, I guess. I don't know, like more airy. So I hope that's true. Maybe we'll have a very airy cake. That would be a good thing. Okay. And then never flatten your flour. I guess packing it down is what makes it less airy. So always making sure that it stays unpacked is the way I got taught to do flour, at least. So let's see. Yeah, a little bit more to this one. All right, so we've got our 2nd cup. So after the flour, we are going to we need 1/4 teaspoon of salt. Also, during my cooking class, I learned that you are never supposed to pour salt above what you're making. I mean, it's smart, but I used to always, I'm not gonna lie, do it above, so it's okay. You learn from your mistakes. So we're gonna put the salt in there, and then we need 2.5 teaspoons of baking powder. So let's see. So we have 1 teaspoon. So 1. 2, and I don't have a half, so I'm just gonna measure with the heart. That looks about half. You know, baking powder just helps with rising, so it'll just be a very well risen cake. It's okay. With these 3 ingredients, I'm just gonna whisk them with a fork a little bit, just to get them mixed in a little more. It says to do this in 3 different batches, so we're just gonna either use the cup like this, or I might just dump it in. I'd rather not make a mess, so I think I'm just gonna use the cup though, because I know me, I will make a mess, a big one. So we're gonna go in with our first one and then just scoop it in. We're gonna put the mixer on the lowest setting. And then just slowly dump it in. So I did about 3.5 mixtures, but that's okay. I don't think doing half more of a portion than I was supposed to, I don't think that's gonna hurt the cake. Or at least I hope it doesn't hurt the cake, because I don't think my family is not the only people eating this cake, so it has to taste good. I've made good desserts before, I've made bad ones before. It's okay. We're just gonna hope this one is a good one. So I'm just scraping at the edges right now, just to try to get the flour fully into the batter. And then we are gonna see if it says to mix again, because I honestly don't remember. I normally mix again, but I usually just mix it until it's fully mixed in. But I remember when I was reading this recipe, I think she said not to. So last step says to try a technique. I think I've only tried once, so I'm contemplating if I want to do it. But it says to melt the butter and milk together and then add some of the already mixed batter into the recipe. Okay, so the next step is a technique I've only tried once, so I don't know if I want to do it. I'm still contemplating doing it, but it's mixing the butter and the milk and then putting it into the microwave and pouring some of your already mixed batter into that bowl with the milk and butter to cool down its temperature, and then add that mixture to the batter. But I don't know, it says the only thing difference that it makes is that it just makes your cake more spongy. So I think I'm just gonna add them regular, because the butter is room temperature, so I think that'll be fine. I don't think it's gonna, if it's a bad cake, it's a bad cake. It's okay, it's all on me. So I'm just gonna quickly add the milk and butter. Let's see if my iPad would work. Oh, it's not working. Unfortunately, my iPad decided to go white, so I had to use my phone for the rest of the recipe. But the recipe does look really good, so I have high hopes for this cake. I'm hoping it tastes good. Let's see if I can get this off, then you guys can also see what it looks like. Okay, I'm just gonna put this on paper towels. Okay, so here is what the mixture looks like. It looks really good to me. It looks really promising, actually. So we are going to scoop this out. Some butter wasn't enough. All right, so we are going to now, I have the pans. I was originally gonna do one pan, but this looks like it can fit in two, so we're gonna attempt two. I'm just gonna quickly spray them. I'm just gonna spray them with some coconut oil, and then, oh, I didn't even turn the stove on. Awesome. Okay, so I guess we're gonna turn the stove on and then maybe mix this for another minute. I don't want to over mix it though, because I don't want to overbeat the eggs, but I also don't just want it sitting here until it goes into the oven. So I think I'm just gonna mix it at a very low setting, and hope that doesn't mess up the cake. So the stove is officially almost preheated, so we are gonna start dumping the cake batter into the pans, just so we can have it all poured out. Hopefully by the time the stove is prepared. Just trying to get as much batter as we can off of the spinner. All right, and then one by one, are going to dump the batter. It looks a little watery for some reason, but I'm hoping that's just supposed to happen because I don't know, it's like weird. All right, and the pans were pre-greased, so that one is done. Okay, just filling it about halfway. And then we're gonna see if there's extras, like if this one looks like it has more, or pour a little bit. Yeah, this looks really watery. I don't know, this cake doesn't look too promising. I've also never made this kind of cake though. Like it's always just been regular. This kind was like one that's supposed to last a few days or something. I don't know, guys. I just found the recipe and thought it looked yummy, I guess. I just needed a vanilla cake. So we're just gonna use this just to, yeah. Okay, and then I'm just gonna pop these into the oven, clean this, and then we're gonna get started on the buttercream. So we are gonna, the bowl and mixer, spoon thing, whatever you want to call it, are officially washed. So we are gonna get started on the buttercream. I think I'm gonna make flowers with one of these like store-bought ones. I think I want to do yellow and orange. So I think I'm gonna take half of this, put it in a bowl, and mix red food coloring with it to make orange, and then keep some as yellow. But I also want to make white because I want the base of the cake to be white. And since it's now a 2-layer cake, we also need some frosting to go in between the 2 layers. So I think I'm just going to use the regular white buttercream. So first things first, we need half a cup of butter. Because making frosting is just 3 ingredients anyway, you can kind of just measure it to how your heart desires, like how much you think you'll need. So I think I'm just gonna scoop some butter, start off with just a little bit at a time, and just keep on going, like trying to see how much I think I'll need based on how big I think the cake is gonna be, especially since we have this as backup. So let me get a spoon. So we've got a spoon. She is also just dumping it in with a spoon, the girl in the video. So I don't think it necessarily, I don't know. And it's still kind of room temperature, so I feel like it'll be easier. We're just gonna go with this at first, as our half a cup. Let me get it all off. I'm doing an awful lot of measuring with the heart. I should not be doing all that. I'm sorry. See, as long as it tastes good, it's okay. I'm actually gonna add a little more because I'm looking at my half cup. It looks like a little more than that, so we're gonna go that much. Okay. All right, and then after you add the butter, I think it was just milk, vanilla extract, and powdered sugar, but let me double check. So half a cup of butter, a 1/4 cup of milk. So let me get the milk again. So 1/4 cup milk. And then she, rather than doing like dry versus wet ingredients, she's kind of just putting them all together. So I'm also just gonna do the same thing. So we've got the 1/4 cup of milk, 3 cups of powdered sugar, and 1 teaspoon of vanilla extract. So let's add the vanilla extract, and then we'll do the 3 cups. Okay, this vanilla extract, I've never smelled vanilla extract that smells so much like vanilla extract, if that makes sense. So we are in the middle of putting in our first cup of powdered sugar into the mixer. I'm just gonna add a little more. Okay, so we've got 1 cup. I have a feeling this should be enough, the 3 cups, since I just need it as the middle layer and the base coat. But I don't know if it depends on how thick the frosting comes out, how well it covers the cake, because I don't want it to look rusted. Like, I want it to be a white cake, like the frosting to be white, especially if I'm gonna put the colorful frosting as flowers, because I want to be able to see, I don't know, like I don't want it to come out weird looking, if that makes sense. So we've got the second one, and let's put in the third. I don't know if you're supposed to pack it, like keep it fluffed up like flour, but that's usually what I do with my powdered sugar anyways, so we'll see. I just hope it's not making it bad. Okay, so we've got our 3rd cup. Okay, so we've got our 3rd cup in. Let's see, I don't know where I put the cap for this. All right, so we've got the cap, and then we're gonna lift this up, and we're just gonna turn it on for a few minutes until it starts puffing up.
3 minutes later.
Unfortunately, I don't know how to pour, so 1 cake is done. We are still waiting on the 2nd one. It's a very big difference. I cannot wait to show y'all. But on the good side, we made the frosting. It looks really good. I'm hoping it comes out. Here's the frosting. I'm hoping it comes out the way my head is envisioning it. It seems to be very well textured, so we are gonna hope that it works the way it's supposed to. I was also thinking about refrigerating it for a few hours, since I was gonna refrigerate the cakes anyway, but before we go put them in the refrigerator, I wanted to wait till both cakes are done so they refrigerate for the same time. We're gonna get started on making some of this yellow orange, because I'm thinking of doing mix match, like, I don't think mix match is the word I'm looking for, but doing like either yellow with an orange center or orange with a yellow center flowers, and because I think that'd be really cute. And we also have some like sprinkles here too, so maybe we'll use some of those, but we'll see. But I also want to write happy birthday, obviously, so we'll see what we're working with. So I've got everything I need. I've got a bowl, red food dye, and the yellow frosting. Oh, I don't have a spoon, actually. I'll use the regular frosting spoon. This is very yellow. Okay, we might have to add some white to it, low-key. Well, white's getting added to it anyways because it's stuck on there. So we're just gonna add some yellow. This looks like banana pudding, doesn't it, kind of? Well, it looks more yellow than it does in person, actually, on the camera. I mean, as seen already, clearly with the cakes, I can't do even portions of things. So we're gonna evenly portion this to the best of our abilities. So we've got the yellow in the bowl. Then we're gonna put the red. Okay, that comes out faster than I thought it would. So we're just gonna add, I have 2 drops in there for now because that's what fell in there. Oh my gosh, if this turns red instead of orange, I don't know what I'll do. So far, it is somehow turning pink. Maybe this wasn't a good idea. Okay. I can't tell. It like weirdly looks pink, like coral. This red food dye really works. So we're just gonna make sure we have everything mixed in as seen from the side of the cup. It's not. I was also contemplating whipping these frostings, the store-bought one, like the yellow and orange, just to see if it does anything, but honestly, I honestly don't care, so we're not gonna do that because then I would have to clean it 3 times. Okay, this came out like perfect. It kind of looks coral on the screen, but it's orange in person. So this is good. And then so we have the orange and the yellow. They're not necessarily the colors I was hoping for, but we're still hoping for a great cake. So I am gonna come back in a few minutes with both cakes done, and then we're gonna wrap them. I don't have saran wrap, so I don't know what I'm gonna wrap them in, but I want to wrap them, put them in the fridge along with the frostings. All right, so both cakes are officially out of the oven. And guys, can you guys guess which one had to spend less time in the oven? So this is the first one. Takes up about half of the pan, height-wise. And then we've got this one. takes up almost the whole pan, height-wise. So it's okay. I did the toothpick test and both of them are fully cooked through. So our next, they're a little cooled down now. So our next step today is going to be putting these, I don't have piping bags, but I want to pipe the flowers rather than like using a spoon or something. So I'm going to use Ziploc bags and make piping bags. So I think what I'm going to do is I'm just going to cool them in the bag. So then that way when I'm ready to decorate, all I have to do is cut the hole and then I can just start piping right away. So I'm going to do that to both the yellow and the orange. The white, I think I'm going to keep in here for now, just because I don't want to pipe it. I'm going to use a spatula to whip it on the cake. So I'm just going to chill all of these for a little bit, and then we'll be back either later or tomorrow. Okay, so hack of the day, actually, I'm going to take a cup and then take the Ziploc bag. I swear my hands are freshly washed. Yes, I just stuck my whole hand in this bag. So we're gonna do something like this, like the corner is down there, and then we're gonna take, I have a knife for instance, you could use anything, and we're just gonna dump it in there and then go like that, and you're ready for your next scoop. I've always done this when baking. Unfortunately, over the years, for some reason, my baking has gotten worse and worse, though. It used to be better. So we are starting at it again. You know, new hobby for over the summer. So we got this. I'm just going to scoop the rest of the yellow. I did the yellow first because the yellow made the orange. So if a little bit of the yellow gets in the orange, I don't mind. But if orange got in the yellow, I would have minded. So let's see. Also, they were definitely not equal portions again. So, all right. So we have the yellow piping bag. I'm gonna add a rubber band and then just to secure it since I cannot close the bag. So as of right now, we're just gonna twist it twice just to make sure there's not, like it's not gonna pop. Because I've had that happen before and it's embarrassing. So the next one, we're just gonna do the same process. Take the Ziploc bag, put the corner into the cup until it reaches the bottom, depending on which cup you're using. And then just, this one I'm using a spoon because it was already in there from mixing. And we're just gonna dump it all in there. Okay. Trying to make sure not to get any of the food coloring in there because if I do get the food coloring in there, then that means some of my orange will look red and I don't want that. And as you can see, okay, as you can see, clearly not even portions, but that's okay. We'll just have more yellow flowers. We'll have to write happy birthday in yellow. All right, and then all we have is the white in the cake. Go in the fridge. All right, and then since I don't have plastic wrap or saran wrap, whatever you want to call it, I think I'm just gonna put aluminum foil on top of the white frosting, and then I think I'm gonna aluminum foil the cakes together, like separately but together, and then shove them in the fridge together. So I'm gonna do that right now. I think I'm just gonna honestly take some out. This is the 75 square foot. It's like the longer one. I think I'm just gonna make a big piece. We'll save the sprinkles for later just in case. I don't think I'm gonna use them though. So we're gonna start off with some, we're gonna do the bigger cake first. Hope it comes out in one piece. I'm pretty sure I sprayed it enough, but you never know. So let's see. Just hit it a little bit at the bottom. Okay, so the whole cake is still in there. Let me get a knife. Oh, maybe a spatula. We've got ourselves a spatula. So let's see. Guys, I'm a mess. Okay, it's not the sides. The sides aren't even the problem because, but the bottom's not even the problem because I just lifted it up perfectly fine. Maybe it just doesn't want to be upside down. What's the middle? The whole cake is coming out good so far. We got a little bump in the, oh, I found a problem, okay. We've got the cake. So this was the problem. Nothing serious. No serious damage. So with that one out, we are gonna fold the aluminum foil. I didn't think about how this was gonna work. You know what, we'll fold them separately. So doesn't have to be perfect. We just want it to cool for a little. I have a feeling the reason they don't use Reynolds wrap is because it's gonna keep in the heat. But because the cakes were a little chill, I'm hoping the cakes are safe. Hopefully, I don't know. I've never personally done this technique before. Like, I've chilled cakes a few times, but I've never chilled them like this. I'm just trying to get a cake that tastes good, especially because my family's not the only one eating it, so. All right, so this one's deciding it doesn't want to come out on its own either. So we're just gonna do the same process as last time. The sides clearly are not the problem. It is somewhere under. All right, just a small mishap like last time, which is what we love to see. Just a little bit. But we've got the cake. Look how thin that is compared to the last one. I'm sorry, that is so funny. I don't know how that happened, but it's low-key perfectly leveled, so I don't think I'm gonna have to level this cake. So we're just gonna wrap it like the last one. And 4. So we've got the cake, 2 cakes. We've got the yellow and orange frosting. I think I might keep them in a cup like this, like maybe both together. I don't know yet, just to keep them upright, because I don't want them necessarily getting, I mean, I don't mind cutting through the frosting, but I'd rather them not leak out from here than going here. So I think I'm just gonna do this just so they don't fall out of the wrong side. I don't want them through there. And then I'm just gonna cut some aluminum foil for the white frosting. I actually think I'm gonna put this in a smaller bowl just so I can wash this out, put it away, and have less of a hassle when I'm decorating the cake. So I'm gonna do that quickly and then see you in either a few hours or tomorrow. Hello guys, so it is officially the next day. So the cake, I ended up having to decorate it last night. It got very late, so I couldn't record my decorations, but I can show you how the cake turned out. Oh, this is kind of sticking a little bit. Okay, so here's it's really bad, guys. It's really bad. It's kind of lopsided, as we can see. I didn't have any special decoration for under it, like a plate wise, so I just used a paper plate. Here's the top in hopes it doesn't fall off. It says happy 19th birthday. And it has cute little flowers on it. But we're gonna give it a try. I have a fork and knife and a cute birthday plate here. We're gonna give it a try. See how it tastes, I guess. I'm kind of scared, low-key, but we'll see how it comes out. Let's see. Okay, here's how we're looking. Not so bad, not too shabby. And then the inside, it looks a little dry, but otherwise doesn't look that bad. So let's give it a taste. I'm kind of scared, guys. Let's see. Honestly, it's not that bad. It's just, I used pure vanilla. Like, I used a different kind of vanilla than I normally do. And this vanilla was like pure vanilla extract. And I think that's the only problem. It just tastes very vanilla-y. But otherwise, it thankfully tastes really good. I could have shared this with people. But next time I know not to use pure vanilla extract. But that was the birthday cake vlog. I hope you all enjoyed it. Bye.